Welcome to the Loosening Captives channel, where we discuss everything having to do with deliverance and inner healing. Today's topic is how to mend your spirit, soul, and DNA fragments. While it is common knowledge among Christians that the soul can be fragmented, it is not as widely known that both the spirit and the DNA can also experience fragmentation. Several factors such as generational sin, iniquity, idolatry, ancient trade with the enemy and the bloodline, trauma, fear, terror, and chemical depression, among other things, can cause this fragmentation. Additionally, the enemy can take advantage and steal soul fragments or spirit fragments during hypnotic states, such as under the influence of drugs or anesthesia. It is important to remember that the aforementioned examples are just a few of the things that can cause fragmentation. Seeking guidance from the Holy Spirit can reveal other essential information. As Hosea 4:6 warns, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." So it is crucial not to be ignorant of Satan's devices. Now, some people question how their spirit can be fragmented, considering that it is born again when you receive Christ as your Lord and Savior. However, it is important to note that the entire spirit does not automatically become sanctified upon being born again. Contrary to popular belief, only a specific part of your spirit becomes holy for the Lord to dwell in, or prepared for the Lord to dwell in. And according to Ecclesiastes 12:6, this is referred to as the golden bowl, which is the core part of our spirit. The golden bowl is considered the altar of God and is where he comes to commune with that specific part of man's spirit. It is important to note that the rest of our spirit requires sanctification, as stated in 1 Thessalonians 5:23. And it says, "Now may the God of peace sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ." Additionally, in 2 Corinthians 7, verse 1, it says, it also emphasizes the need for purification, stating, quote, "Since we have these promises, dear friends, let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates the body and the spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God." So these two scriptures tell us that other parts, or that our spirit is not completely, entirely sanctified when we come to the Lord. Now, based on these two scriptures, it is evident that there are areas in our spirit that require clearing of corruption or healing, just as there are areas in our soul and DNA that also need to be addressed. If these areas are not addressed, they can become fragmented, captured by the enemy, and traded, leading to various places of captivity. Such places may include the miry pit, which is stated in Psalm 40, verse 2, Sheol, which is stated in Psalm 16, verse 10, the depths, which is stated in Psalm 130, verses 1 through 8, the dimensions in John 20, verses 19 through 23, where Jesus used an alternate dimension to enter the room without using the door, as well as evil dimensions equivalent to the good ones mentioned in Ephesians 3, verses 17 through 19. It is crucial to remember that the enemy is a copycat. So if there are good dimensions, of course he's going to have the evil dimensions. Now, the enemy, working alongside evil human beings, also utilizes these fragmented parts to create dark beings known as hybrids, but that's a whole another topic. In his effort to bolster his army for the impending battle of Armageddon. Nonetheless, the Lord continues to increase knowledge and provide strategies to his church, as indicated in Daniel 12:4. Furthermore, the Lord equips the church with effective weapons of war that are suited for today's warfare. One such weapon is the increase in the church's collaboration with the angelic activity. There's a lot of angelic activity today, as well as the utilization of the courts of heaven. Now, the question arises, how can we retrieve these fragmented parts? According to Psalm 139, verses 13 through 16, there are registries in heaven that contain detailed information about us and everything that occurs in our lives. One such registry is the guest registry, located in the Court of Records, which is part of the Court of Titles and Deeds. By accessing this registry, one can determine the presence of demons, lingering human spirits, as discussed in another blog, the location of the fragmented parts, the cause of the fragmentation, and other relevant information. Now, the following steps outline the process of retrieving fragmented parts. Number 1, repent for ignorance and lack of discernment of spiritual things. 2, repent for heeding to a religious spirit that nullifies the power of God. 3, request of the Father access into the Court of Records. Once there, ask to see the guest registry of unwanted guests. Request that the information be sorted by the type of fragmentation of the spirit. Now do the same thing for the soul and the DNA. Under the column of trade, you will see a list of spirit fragmentation. You can sort down for more details. You will see the storyline and the timeline of events that caused the fragmentation. Once you find out the sin that led to the fragmentation, number 6, request access to the court of mercy and repent for the sins that the court points out to you to repent for, and ask the blood of Jesus wash away those sins. Repent for ignorance, rebellion, idolatry, lack of discernment of spiritual things, not working with your angels, falling into fear, whatever else the Holy Spirit directs you to repent for. The Father will hand you Jesus' key to the realms. Number 9, request access to the court of angels and give the key to the plundering angel that will appear. Commission him to unlock every gate, path, doors, warehouses, trophy rooms, time fabric, folds, wormholes from any place of captivity. Commission him to retrieve every spirit fragments and every spirit fragments that have been traded, enslaved, hidden, stored, or unjustly captured. Also do this process for the soul and DNA. Number 10, step into the court of times and seasons and request that all the parts retrieved be reintroduced to all the appropriate timelines and seasons in your book. Ask for a reinsertion, mending, splicing of spirit fragments to the spirit of the person, and then celebrate and praise God. Now, for more information about the courts of heaven and the spirit of man, visit the shop area in my website, looseningcaptivesblog.com. I will post it underneath this video. But on this website, you also have the option to schedule an advocacy session with me, during which we can address any accusations, false verdicts, lingering human spirits, curses, demonic oppression, sickness, or other issues that may be impacting you and your family. And we seek resolutions in the court of heaven. Now, if you're watching this but you're not saved, if the Lord Jesus Christ is not your Lord and Savior, and you would like him to be, say this prayer out loud in faith. Lord Jesus, I am a sinner in need of a Savior. Would you forgive me of my sins? Wash them away with your precious blood that you shed to pay the penalty for my sins. I believe that you are the Son of God and that you died and resurrected on the third day. Come into my heart and life as my Lord and Savior. With your help, I will live for you until you call me home to heaven to be with you. Thank you, Lord. Now, if you prayed this prayer, welcome to the family of God. Ask the Lord to direct you to a good church where you can grow in the things of God. Start reading your Bible, and God bless you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes, comments, and subscribing to my channel. And I will see you in our next video. Thank you.